as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
So what you gonna do when the Detroit Lions in Campbell Mania runs wild on you, brother? What you gonna do?
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. Oh, you're the best.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That guy. Oh, it's Sean Belizean, everybody.
Hey.
Oh, it's great to be here with you, man. I can't believe this is like years in the making, right? Isn't that how this is like years in the making? And we're getting all fired up. Tis the season, man. It's time to get fired up about a lot of things.
Hogan's fired up.
Are you kidding me? It's hysterical. I mean, but that's what camp is. I mean, let's be honest. Let's peel all the layers away. I mean, that's what camp is. Let's have some fun.
It's a football state fair.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's okay to say that. There's nothing
100%.
like it was funny. Spen was talking about how he's going out there and he's all fired up. Good. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's just don't talk to me about jobs being up for grabs and stuff like that, man. These guys, are you questioning Dan Campbell and his staff? They don't know exactly what's going on. That's funny. I caught that.
No, but Sean and as always, Sean Belizean in for DMAC KG in the house. KG, what's really good?
What's really good? We got FN Sean Belizean, man, and this is gonna be a good show. You and him. Besides the Michigan bashing that's gonna take place.
There will be no Michigan. Hey. Michigan State's a segment after, and you might not like what you hear.
Challenge Dark Horse MVP.
Justin, I hope you're ready, man.
Keep that same energy. Jesus in the house. Jesus, what's up, man?
Hey, coming off my Woodward Sports NCAA football championship last night.
Shout
KG
out.
got first round outed. Spenmo picked me to win. Shout
did.
out. And D-Money98, get in contact with me. You won that $100 Shiroki's gift card. I won that for you, baby.
All right. So there it is. We are locked. We are loaded. We are ready to go. And look, Sean, I'm happy you're here, number one, because, you're a media icon in this town. That's number one. I know you don't think that way, but whatever. I'm talking right now. All right, number two, we got a new little Thursday bit that I want to try out here, Sean.
Oh, I'm in.
And it's good that you're here. This is going to be a cut the shit Thursday.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
The people in the chat, they say they like when I say cut the shit. So we're cutting the shit today on Thursday. How this will work, this is baseline, very, very simple. There is one topic per segment. Cut the shit, where are you with it? That's where we're going to go. So it's very, very easy. I got a Tigers trade deadline one for you. Cut the shit, where you at with it? Jamison Williams, where you at with it? Michigan football, it's that time. And Sean, you said it. It's the end of July is coming up. I know you've already cracked open that Phil Steele magazine. I'll be picking mine up before I go on vacay. It's in the air. We're gonna crack the top and get ready to go on it.
You got to have the magazines. Like I have them strategically placed in my house. I got Phil Steele's in one throne room. I got Lindy's in the other throne room, and the one downstairs I have Athline. But this, like Neil, to me, this is the worst time. Like right now is the worst time because you can see it, right? You can see it. You can see it. It's right there. It's only 30 days until week 0. But it takes forever. It's like, come on, let's drop it. Let's go. We're ready to go. And yeah, there's a hell of a lot of questions around here, man. But listen, with the Michigan bashing, I've said this forever. You have to be fair. Yeah. And I've had Michigan people, and maybe you're one of them. People have said to me, I hate you because you're fair. And it's like, don't hate me. I didn't do anything. Those are just kind of the facts of the matter. And right now, in my mind, Neil, we'll get to that. We all got to kind of shut up and tip the cap to Michigan right now.
Right. And it's the next step in the evolution, which I'll discuss with you, KG.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
But the Michigan State one as well. Mm-hmm. This cannot continue. Cannot continue. So we'll get into all that. Certainly, we have that going on.
We got Mormon power now, baby.
Since Sean is here, we got a Red Wings one. We'll do some hockey as well. So the groundwork has been laid. We are into there. But we played the video. People in the chat talking about it. Hulk Hogan was making the rounds around Metro Detroit area. He's got a new beer line out.
Yeah, brother.
So he was going to the stores, brother. And he was talking to the people. Made a stop out at Lions training camp also. Sean, look. Woodward Sports chat thread, by the way. Jump into there, get your thoughts out there. Aaron to the Stone, Sean and Neil together. Okay, it's official. I'm bricked. LFG. I'm excited too. Adiz 411, the morning show went 10 minutes over.
Of course they did.
Adiz, you're a snitch.
Right,
Get your
snitching
asses
and
out
shit.
of the studios.
Man, no.
When your show is over, get your ass
You're
out.
not even here.
You guys are going to
10
make
minutes
me
after the
start
show.
waking up early, getting here on time, and busting skulls.
Yeah, literally, Spenny wasn't even in the building yet.
All right, but anyway, though, Sean, Hulk Hogan, Dan Campbell, they're both kind of wrestling characters, right?
Yeah.
To some degree.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Campbell knows what he's doing. I mean, this was all about the culture. I cannot stress this enough. Neil, you've been around. The guys have been around. This was a franchise that I can't tell you how many times I'm doing a post-game show or I'm in the locker room, whatever the case may be, and it's the first week of November, and they're done. They're done. You can see it. It's like you walk in that room and it's like you're at a gosh damn funeral. They're just done. He had to come in here. He had to be larger than life. Now, you can't be larger than life and not have any bite. He's got a ton of bite, obviously, and he's shown that out. But he had to be a larger than life, bring the clans together personality. I have no problem with it. I know there are some people out there, okay, I've kind of had it with the act. No, it's worked, man. It'd be one thing if the act didn't work. I have no problem with it. Go all WWE, man. As long as the wins keep coming, 2 more wins in particular, I'm all for it.
James in the chat, can we expect any Neil Tone today? KG, you can answer that one.
Very much so.
All right, keeping it pushing.
I'd bet my life savings on it.
There you go. It's 71 Mad Cat. F the Hulk Hogan, the Iron Sheik. Rest in peace. No, but Sean,
Big
what
facts.
is it about Hulk Hogan? Why is the draw still there? Because it is. He walks in a room, Sean, and it's electric.
It's charisma, and I think a lot of it is, for depending on how old you are. I mean, so many of us, he was that larger than life icon when we were kids. I mean, and it doesn't matter if you're an old dude like me. It doesn't matter if you're one of the younger guys. It's Hulk freaking Hogan, man.
Everybody knows him, yeah.
And when you have 27-inch pythons, I mean, how many people can walk around town saying, dude, I got 27-inch pythons? I mean, he really is. Even I thought that he would take a hit last week because of his thing at the RNC.
Yeah.
And it happened for a couple of days, but everybody's back to, no, it's the Hulk.
And that was kind of my point, right? Because I don't do politics on the show.
Yeah.
Never have, never will.
It was a bag
I don't
play.
care.
He went and got the bag.
I don't care. But I thought along the same lines, I was like, this is going to hurt him somewhere, but clearly it doesn't. He's above the law.
No.
Hulk Hogan's above the law.
No, he is. And you know what? I mean, look, he comes out to camp. The poor guy, I mean, he's got to know he's a bit. Somebody's going to ask him to do exactly what he just did.
But he does, and he does it. Like Hulk Hogan, this kind of runs parallel. I watched the Beverly Hills Cop movie that came out.
Shout out Brock Wright. I'm pretty sure it was just Brock Wright that just walked by.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Hey, shout out.
But anyway, though, like I watched the Beverly Hills Cop movie, Sean, and it was one of the best sequels ever to me. Why? They embraced what they are.
Exactly.
They played the hits. Hulk Hogan's one of these guys. He plays the hits. That's all you got to do.
No, that's exactly it. And you know what I mean? The epic battles, and he still has the charisma, even though, what's he, like 70 years old? Like,
Yeah.
seriously, he's
Yes.
like 70 years old now. Still brings the energy, still brings the charisma. So, yeah, Hulk Hogan comes out to camp. I'll use your line again. It's state fair. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you see at state fair, man. And as everybody's in the best shape of their life, everybody's on the same page. You're not going to get any negative news out of it. It's what people want this time of year.
Just play the hits,
Yep.
man. That's all you got to do is just play the hits and get what got you there. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was funny. Spenny had the footage, and it's great. It's great for the left. It played the hit.
Yep.
Let's just say it like that. Spenmo is out tomorrow.
I am. I'm excited.
Let me say this as a public service. And Sean, I know that, you like your beer, you like your bourbon, stuff like that. I don't know if you've been to Colorado before. I would assume you have.
I have.
And so I think you can echo this sentiment. I wanted to say this publicly to Spenny so we can say we did our part. When you go to Colorado and you get in those breweries and you get in those other, they do it differently in Colorado. Spenny, a person like you could run himself into some trouble. And I'm concerned for your well-being. Those beers are 10, 11, 12%, Sean. You have any words of wisdom for this guy? Know what he's walking into.
Just understand what Rocky Mountain oysters are. Like
they're bull testicles.
Yeah, just as long. I think that's word to the wise. Number one, dude, it's a blast out there.
Yeah,
it is. It's one of my regrets. I was offered a gig there a long time ago. I wish I would have taken it. I loved it. The coolest thing, like seriously. So I'm in Denver on the 4th of July. It was just before the All-Star game. It's like 100 degrees in Denver. You get in your car, you drive like 25 minutes away. You're firing snowballs at people. Like I'm not joking. Yeah. I think it was called Estes Park or something. I mean, it's just a really cool place with a diverse weather kind of thing because of the obviously the mountains and all that. But to Neil's point, dude, it hits a little harder.
Yeah, they might do it differently in Colorado, but I'm built different, so I'm ready for it.
Talk your shit,
Spenny. I know you are. Yeah. Spenny, I know this. I understand this, but I've walked in those shoes out there before.
That's fair.
And it took a day of adjustment. Let me just say it like that. I retired early that night. I'll just say it like that.
I'm excited, though. We're going up there for my brother's bachelor party. We got an Airbnb. It's this log cabin right on a lake with the mountains in the background. So
are you going to tap the Rockies?
We're going on a hike one of the days. We're going to a hot spring one of the days. I'm excited. It should be a lot of fun.
That's the plan.
The hot spring.
That's the plan.
You all the boys 90 proof sitting in the hot spring. Are you kidding me? That's a great day.
Oh yeah. I can't wait.
Again, just be aware. That's all I'm asking. Just be aware. All right, guys. When we come back, it's time to cut the shit. It's a cut the shit Thursday. We're gonna start with the Tigers trade deadline. Tell them about Guardian.
I will. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and no Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Make sure you contact them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Roki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan, and D-Money 98, courtesy of Jesus winning the Woodward Sports NCAA 25 tournament, gets a $100 gift card to Soroki's. You can spend it on their chicken, on their New York style pizza, or those delicious biscuits. Just buy $100 worth of biscuits. Trust me, you will be extremely happy. To find a location near you, go to Sorokis.com. They just opened one up in Madison Heights. Check it out. Soroki's. Now that's crispy.
All right, we are off and running. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, something that probably should have happened 10 or 15 years ago in this industry, but I digress. It took Michigan's #1 sports network to make it happen, but here we are. KG, Jesus here as well, Spencer Raxter. It is time for a Cut the Shit Thursday. How this is going to work, everybody. We're done shucking and jiving. We're done, we're done. Well, we're done tiptoeing around. Call your shot. As KG would say, get your shit off right now. One topic, Sean.
All right.
One topic. Where you at with it? I want it in the chat. We'll do it around the room as well. Tigers trade deadline, Sean, because I have a very hard line that I'm keeping on this, and the events of last night only added to it. So for me, Sean, I'm curious to know, cut the shit, where you at with the Tigers trade deadline?
I would love for Flaherty to be gone. He will be gone. I would love for Skubal to be gone, but I don't want a package of prospects. Stop. Here's part of the problem when I say the word prospects today. When I say prospects, I'm not talking about that package of goodies that's going to be ready in 2 or 3 years. I don't consider Holiday a quote-unquote prospect. I consider him a major league ready guy. And I know he struggled already, but that's the type of guy. To me, that is in any potential package with the Orioles. It's a non-starter unless that guy's in the package. If you want to include a couple guys, your little Daz Cameron and your Kristen Stewart, wait till you see what these guys look like in a couple of years. Going to pinch out little cheeks.
Well,
you want to include a couple pieces like that, go the heck ahead.
Well,
Okay?
Sean, you know what? Real quick,
You got to include a major league ready guy.
When we got him, he was Kristen Stewart. But when he got hit, he was Kirsten Stewart.
Yes.
And then he went back to being Kristen Stewart when he sucked.
Right.
All
And I don't want Jake Rogers. I don't want Daz. I don't want Stewart. I don't want these guys. Give them a few years. I need a major league ready guy. Holiday is that major league ready guy.
Okay. For me, this has become a non-negotiable over the course of the last 48 hours. Yesterday only exemplified that. And for the people, by the way, that were the be buyers, we're in the playoff race.
Gosh.
Flaherty pitched last night. You got 2 hits and you lost. Mm-hmm. Flaherty pitched his ass off again and you lost. And guess what today is? The bullpen day.
Yep.
You have 2 starters right now. You got 2 hit. Yesterday exemplified all of it. Here's the deal. I want Tarek Skubal traded now. Yeah. Because this can't continue. You are not a major league organization when you roll out there, you're getting 2 hits in games. You're not. And the only pipeline you have to fix this, because what have you drafted? Guys that you keep telling me about we'll see in 2027.
Single-A demons.
Okay. See you in 2027.
It's fair. I like Max Clark.
Okay? So what I'm offering you is this. And the reason I want it done is this. The Jackson Holiday, the Mayo, you want to get up, you want to haggle for a couple more prospects, go ahead and do that. But the bottom line is, Sean, I'm giving you a method. We bring Job up, we put him in Skubal's spot, Jackson Holiday starts, next opening day at shortstop, Mayo's your third baseman, next opening day at shortstop. I don't have to sit here and go back and forth with KG and say, who's going to play third? Who's going to play short? He's going to look me in the eye and say, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing, Sean. It's a path. Now, and here's the deal over all of it. If you tell me you're going to go out and not spend money in free agency, you want to operate in sense like the Tampa Bay Rays, then do it all the way.
100%.
Don't do it half-ass. If that's what you are, then do it. And doing that means that you got to flip your guys when they come up. This is the most value Skubal will ever have. He's got 3 postseasons on team control. This is it. So either you're trading him or you're signing him. That's it. And I lean trade because I'm giving you 2 everyday starters for next opening day. I'm cutting the shit with it, Sean. I over the last 48 hours, I'm all the way in on this.
Well, and that's why there are still too many, to your point about yesterday, whether people want to admit it or not, I don't care. There are still too many holes in this lineup.
Yep.
It was cute for a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, they're winning games and they're scoring some runs. But honestly, water finds its level. And you've seen water find its level with this lineup. And I 100% disagree with people that are saying they're in a playoff race when they're sitting 5 games on the outside looking in. I 100% disagree with that for a couple of reasons. Number one, you're still a couple games under 500 at the point in time. Like, let's not have a real conversation until you're at least a 500 team. Number two, think about all the teams that you have to blow past. It's not that easy. I think what the wild card has done, a lot of people have looked at the NFL. Whether people want to admit it or not, the NFL has sold hope for a long time. The extra playoff team is selling hope because all of a sudden it's the first week of December and you're going, we're still in it. This is great. Whereas people around here, how many times have I was talking about the first week of November, for goodness sake. The first week of December, we're like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Let's look at mock drafts now. That extra pick has allowed a lot of fan bases to stay in. And I think the wild card has done that. I really do. The wild card and the way it's set up now with the 3 teams has allowed franchises to sell hope, because you sit back, well, they're only 5 back. Yeah, but there are 5 teams in front of them. Knock it off.
And Sean, I'm so tired of hearing that argument, and I'll break that down for you now. Really quickly. Tigers 6 back of the wild card.
Yep.
They are back of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. Oh, by the way, the Red Sox and the Mariners, who are in front of you, play each other this weekend. Mm-hmm. When the Red Sox get done with that series, they play the Texas Rangers, who are in front of you. Mm-hmm. The series after that. That is conceivably 6 games where you cannot make up ground to some degree, because somebody's going to win.
You got it.
So you have to win your games. And oh, by the way, you have a lineup that got you 2 hits last night.
Yeah.
2 hits. Oh, by the way, you have 2 starters. And you're going to have another bullpen day today where you have to count on 7 dudes that come into the game, and they all have to be sharp.
I don't like it, but that's the way it is. I know some people want you to get on the blue and orange cheerleading outfit and say, yay, we're right in it. I mean, that's not the reality of the situation, especially when you look at this roster and what it is right now. And look, yes, an injury to Reese, that hurts as well. But you have to add it all up, and you have to think smartly, and you have to think long-term. And when I say long-term, I don't want any more of these cute little package, the Justin Verlander package, or wait till you see what this guy looks like in 3 or 4 years. You have a guy right now that could make the argument he is the best pitcher in baseball. Certainly the best pitcher in the American League. You know, I mean, there's a guy in Pittsburgh that might want to argue that he's the best pitcher in baseball. Fine. Best pitcher in the AL. You going to tell me that isn't... Look at the Orioles, okay? The Yankees have started to go like this. The Cashman, I still don't get it, for 15 years. The guy just doesn't put a premium on pitching. Yeah. The rest of the world celebrates because I know the Yankees are going to lose come playoff time because he puts no premium on pitching. Are you going to tell me that couldn't put the Orioles over the top in a potential series? Are you kidding me? I make that deal. Best of luck to you, Tarek. I wish things could have worked out. Unfortunately, this franchise has been so inept. We should have been ready by now. We weren't. That's not your fault. Good luck elsewhere.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Salty Pork Chops. If the O's only offered Holiday a Mayo, would you say no, since you're only getting 2 for 1? Salty Pork Chops, look, people need to pull their head out of their ass to some degree, too, with this. We're going to get 4 of the Orioles' top 10 prospects for Skubal. Guys, the way markets work is supply and demand. I am not interested in anything the Dodgers have. Anybody around this room interested?
No.
In anything the Dodgers have.
They don't have anything premier enough to want.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, and Salty Pork Chops, look, this is where I am with it. I'm getting on that line where I would say yes to Holiday and Mayo. I'm getting on that line because, look, you give me an everyday shortstop for an organization that does not have one anywhere, except for a kid that just went to prom that they drafted. A third baseman that they do not have anywhere. It's time to start putting this thing together, man. And, you want to haggle for their number 12 prospect or whatever in addition, then fine. Go ahead, knock yourself out. I have zeroed in on this. This is what I want to see happen. Jesus, you got the City Connect hat on. Where are you with this right now?
Cut the shit.
Cut the shit. Where you at?
Cut it out right now.
Cut the shit. Sell. I want Skubal gone. If we can bring in even just Mayo and Holiday, I'm good with it.
That's what I'm starting to get to right now.
I'm sick of asking the question, what is the vision for this infield? What are we? I have no idea.
You have no third baseman, Sean. Mm-hmm. You have no shortstop. You have no center fielder. You don't have an answer at right field. You may not have an answer at first or second. Your best prospects. Oh, by the way, too, don't think I missed this. And Spenny, I'm sorry to do this. I love him. I love his bat. He's on a heater with the stick. But that ground ball to second yesterday in the bottom of the 8th inning for a guy who's minus 11 run saved defensively, Sean. I know you were watching the game. You're sick like I am. I know you were watching the game.
I was.
I'm just saying, no one talked about it. Not a word about it on Twitter. None of the insiders. Nobody who does this for a living. Nobody said a word about it, Sean. I saw it. You saw it. Did that change the game?
Makes me sick. You know what the problem is, too? Whether we want to admit it or not, I feel sorry for Scott Harris in this regard. Is it his fault that we've been sold so much shit for so long? No, not really. It's not his fault. But that's the reality of it, because hearing you talk about what you just talked about, and Justin as well, do you know how many times we heard this is our third baseman of the future? Do you know how many times we heard fill in the blank, why isn't this guy patrolling center field at Comerica Park every day? Even when there was nothing there to deserve it, people were making arguments for certain guys. The catcher of the future has been an ongoing bit for a decade now. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want, we can even go longer than that to when Alex Avila died during the 2011 season.
Beautiful swing,
it was a beautiful swing. But let's be honest, Jim Leland ran him into the ground, and he died in the 2011 season. Mm-hmm. So this has been a bit for a long, long time. So I can hear one side saying, well, that's not Scott Harris' fault. Well, you also have to read the room and know where you've been. Unfortunately, people around here have heard shortstop of the future, have heard third baseman of the future, have heard center fielder for the next 15 years, have heard part 1, 2, 3, and 4 catcher of the future. So, yes, at some point in time, people are going to go, what are we doing here? Because we've been sold such an incredible bill of goods by this franchise.
And I think there's one thing that you guys haven't really mentioned that I think is the biggest factor of why Skubal should be traded at the deadline. I love Tariq Skubal. I would love to keep Tariq Skubal.
Who doesn't?
He's the best pitcher in the American League. He's your ace. You keep him here. That would be amazing. If this was Mr. I still running this team, I am keeping Tariq Skubal for sure. It's not Mr. I anymore. It's Lil Chris. I don't have the faith that Lil Chris is going to spend $400 million to keep Tariq Skubal and then spend another $150 million on a third baseman and $100 million on another bat.
Well, Spenny, that's what backs up to this. If this is what you are, then be this.
Yes. All you have to do if you trade Skubal is pay for one starting pitcher. I have more faith for him to go out there and pay for Max Fried or Corbin Burns to bring him in here and be your ace than pay your ace and 2 bats to put a lineup together.
Lil Chris, knocking over them garbage cans. Nick Williams, I'm so sick of Skubal trade talk, to be honest. Well, Nick, this is the biggest moment in this organization's history for about a decade, Nick.
Yeah.
Let's cut the shit, Nick.
If Chris Ilitch came out tomorrow and said, I will pay 2 MLB players, position players, $150 million to come be bats in this lineup, I would say keep Skubal, but I don't think he's going to do it. I really don't.
It's so fascinating hearing you talk because, Neil, you'll remember that was the same kind of stuff people were saying about Mike Ilitch for a long time.
When I got started in this business, that was my detested.
Do you
his
remember?
ownership
Do you
of the
remember?
Tigers.
Do you remember? He went out and he threw at the time mad money at something called Mike Moore. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And we got burned hard by Mike Moore,
and it shook him.
And it did.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind. He said, "Oh, I'm not doing this again." And then his next foray into doing it was Juan Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And he got spurned by it. So again, he pulled back.
Is Javi Baez that for Chris Ilitch?
I think so.
Yeah.
I do.
It appears that way.
I think so.
Scare money don't make money,
honestly,
man.
it was 4 years later before he said, all right, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to throw mad money at Pudge Rodriguez. We just all saw what Pudge Rodriguez did in the 2003 fall, the entire postseason. I'm going to throw mad money at him. And all of a sudden, Guillen, and all of a sudden, Ordonez the next year, and all of a sudden, it started to come together. But to your point, and I'm glad you were one of those guys, there were a lot of people that said, oh, Mike Ilitch doesn't care about baseball. All he cares about is the Red Wings. That's all he cares about because he was throwing mad money out there in an era. Now, I systematically, this pisses me off. I almost swore, and I'm not going to swear. I promised myself I wasn't going to swear today. I systematically deny the whole premise that the Detroit Red Wings were spending more than anybody else year in, year out. That's not true. Did it happen here? Yes. Did it happen there? Yes. But there was an arms race, and he was keeping up with the Joneses during that time. It wasn't like the Red Wings were at the top every year, but he did what had to be done to keep the Red Wings relevant. That wasn't the case with the Tigers. The Tigers were the forgotten commodity during that era, simply put.
Woodward Sports chat thread as we get ready to go to the break here. I cut the shit Thursdays off to a good start.
Yeah, it is.
Great.
Mike G, Neil and the Habs Man show. This is outstanding today. Who's the Habs Man?
I have no idea.
You ever meet that guy? I've heard about him.
He's shown up at my house a few times, but
have you contacted the authorities about that?
We have a few times. It was I actually.
Does he have to stay 1,000 yards away now?
I actually had a chat with Cole Caulfield last week. And
Shout out.
He was there's a shout out to Cole Caulfield. What up, Cole? And it was funny because he was like, "Is that dude going to show up?" I was like, "No." I made sure he wasn't going to show up.
All right. Well, you should show up at Lady Jane's to get a haircut.
You definitely should. Lady
Segue.
Jane's. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Feldman Automotive. There's 18 Feldman Automotive dealerships in and around the Metro Detroit area. What does that mean to you? Well, for starters, it means if you want a Chevy, Feldman Chevrolet in Novi is Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. You know, we broadcast from there from time to time. But what else it means is it doesn't matter what kind of car you want. You need a car, you want a car, you go to feldmanauto.com. If it's a Ford, Chevy, Kia, whatever it is, you will find it right there. And right then and there, you'll be able to take advantage of the Feldman Advantage. That's right, the very best car buying experience in the car buying game. They have you covered. They have the game on lock. They've been doing it since 1996. Boys to men. Hey, since the time the Dallas Cowboys last went to a conference championship game. The
So
bum-ass
long ago.
Cowboys.
It's true.
Go to feldmanauto.com today. All right, keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizian, KG, Spencer Raxter. Of course, we have as well Juzus. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Dante151, Spenny Scooble's agent will laugh at $400 million. He wants $500 million, $800 million. He wants to get that life-changing money. I think it'll be in that $400 million area.
10 years, $400 million, something like that.
It'll be a variation of that. Maybe it's got to go 9 at 360, 340, 10 at 390. It'll be right around there. But yeah. So it is. It's a Cut the Shit Thursday. It's a new segment. And we're doing it. We're doing it now. So, Sean, let's shift gears. And Jameson Williams.
We do have Amon-Ra speaking on Jameson Williams.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
what a great segue. Let's hear from Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I love this.
I mean, he's been, I don't know if you guys saw earlier, I mean, first few plays, touchdown. So we all know he's fast, but I mean, he's just, I feel like for me being around him this is my 3rd year now, he just looks more comfortable. He looks like he's done this before. He looks like he knows what to expect. He's not that young rookie guy no more. He's been here for a few years. So every year he just gets more comfortable. And I know I've been saying this, every year, but I think, he's gotten better every year, obviously, but I think this year is going to be huge for him. I actually know it is, and I can't wait.
That was Amon-Ra St. Brown discussing Jameson Williams. Real quick, Woodward Sports chat thread, Matthew Kruger. Is it just me or is the Woodward crew more scared than stoked on the Tigers?
He said that in the morning show, too.
No, Matthew. I'm giving you the path as to what their quote-unquote identity is according to them. But
can you define scared? What is scared mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just define scared for me. You know what I'm scared of? I'm scared of you people telling me that the things down in single A are going to be the savior of this franchise. I mean, that's the way that we
have
lived
an
for a
obsession.
decade now. Like, stop it.
Sean, we have an obsession here with the 5-leg rookie parlay.
It's amazing to me.
FanDuel was built
It was
on
amazing.
5-leg parlays.
That's like whether we want it. That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared that unfortunately people didn't learn their lesson from 2016 to 2023. That's what I'm scared of. So yeah, I want a major league ready guy. Sorry.
All right, Sean Belizean, Jamison Williams, cut the shit. Where you at?
He's going to have a good year. I think people are ready to put him on a pedestal. I defer all the time to my buddy Matt Shepard, and I always promise him I'd give him credit for this quote, okay? The word great is used way too much. It is. It's used way too much. And part of this, Neil, we were talking before the show, we in this town have a tendency to put a lot of guys on a pedestal that they don't belong, okay? This is a guy that, could he have a great year? Yes, he could. I believe that. I think with what's around him and the way they can use him for the team, I expect a good year. I've seen people saying he's going to blow up. I've seen people say he's going to blow up the other way. I think this is an NFL caliber guy that is obviously a weapon. When you put the ball in his hands, things happen. But in usage with this offense, I don't think, Neil, that the pathway is there for him to have bombastic, crazy numbers. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. If he's just a good player, when you're talking about having Amon-Ra here, when you're talking about having arguably a top 3 tight end in the game, top 2 in my humble opinion, that's okay if he's just good. It's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it just makes this team more dangerous.
You said the magic word, Sean, and this is something that I try to talk to a lot of people about, that I feel in this Madden video game world that we live in now, usage, opportunity, targets, those things. For the crowd, and look, I'm a JMO simp. I think he is special. I think he is gifted. When he gets the football in his hands, he's different. I know what I see. You've been around the game. You call college football. You've been around the game. What he does with the football in his hand is different than most. And the speed he has, you guys know the talking points, okay? But the moral of the story is this. There is a cult-like base in this town, some of them who are on the morning show that's filling on this show sometimes, that might be filling in for this show tomorrow, that want to base it on linear stats. I didn't drop any names. That want to base it on linear stats with no context, with no nuance to it. Sean, when you start swimming in those waters of this football team and where they are, and this happens every year, there's a rhythm to the seasons here at Woodward with the sports fans in Detroit. Baseball, the 4-leg rookie parlay this year's going to hit. No, this year we're going to get right, Sean.
This is the year.
This is the year. The 4-leg rookie parlay is going to hit. Then we shift into training camp with the Lions. And then Amon-Ra is going to have 1,500 yards. Who else are we going to have on? Amon-Ra is going to have 1,500 yards.
Yep. J-Mo's going to have 1,000.
J-Mo's going to have 1,000. Laporta's going to have 1,200.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Don't forget about Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs is going to have 1,000 yards
going to have
receiving.
6,000 yard passing yards.
When you start adding these things up, Jared Goff is going to look like Tony Graziani in the Arena League, man. He's going to throw for 9,000 yards in a season. Like, it's just not physically possible. The deal with J-Mo is this, and this is something nobody in this town ever talks about. This is my main argument when I talk with somebody who's on the morning show here, who fills in on this show sometimes.
Cough.
That is, an anti. There you go. He impacts winning in a league, Sean, in a league where 4 plays dictate every single game, every single week. This NFL, the National Football League, and I don't care who if you're talking about the Panthers all the way up to the Chiefs, When the Panthers play the Chiefs, for the most part, there's 4 to 5 plays in that game that dictate the outcome of that game. Big plays. Players make plays. It's a playmaker's league. And Jameson Williams is probably the biggest playmaker on this team, Sean.
I think sometimes, and that young man whose name shall not be mentioned, it rhymes with Mantle. I think sometimes what people do is they don't take into account the fact that you have to account for a guy and how that can change the game plan. And you don't necessarily have to target that guy 8-10 times a day. I will tell anybody that will listen, and Neil, you're old enough to remember this. There was a guy by the name of Deion Sanders. Yeah, that same Deion Sanders that coaches at Colorado. What Deion Sanders did to a football game, you can't put a price tag on it. And you know what? It didn't always show up. It didn't always show up in the stat line.
Linearly.
Yes, because you know what it did? Okay, half the field's gone. Right? We have to go do our business over there. So you would look at the numbers. And I remember one year, I think Kevin Smith had 6 or 7 interceptions, and Deion only had 2. Well, why is that?
They didn't throw anywhere near Deion.
Bam. So when you immerse yourselves in statology, sometimes the numbers, not always, sometimes the numbers don't tell the true story.
Wow.
Larry Brown won an MVP in the Super Bowl, guys. Larry Brown was not good. Larry Brown won an MVP in the Super Bowl because Neil O'Donnell wouldn't throw to the other side of the field. And he threw a couple ducks to this guy, and he had 2 picks. And that's the way that I look at what J-Mo can potentially do to this team. It may not show in the stat line. Now, do I expect far greater stats? Yes, I said as much. But I don't know if somebody's going to say, wow, that's a great year. Well, if you look at the numbers, not necessarily. But if that's one more thing that you have to account for on the field, then he's doing his job.
The thing that gets me bricked up about him is just going back to it. In a league built on playmakers, we have one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A dynamic playmaker. And I get this way, and maybe I'm wrong. When he gets the football, I move position in my chair to watch. And there are but 5 dudes in the NFL that are like that.
Yep.
He's special.
He's one of them.
Neil, I'm going to cut the shit here. I'm gonna cut the shit with Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
I am all in on the Detroit Lions this year winning the Super Bowl. I think it is unanimous that this is going to be a top 5 offense in the NFL this year. I've been saying all year, all offseason, since last year, if Jameson Williams figures it out, if he becomes that guy in this offense, it goes from a top 5 offense this year to a top 5 offense historically in the NFL, and I think that's what we're going to get. I think Jameson Williams is going to be that guy. I got him over 1,000 yards this year. I really do. I really believe it. I see him connecting. I hear the way these coaches are talking about him. You saw Amon-Ra St. Brown light up, couldn't even pull the smile back when he's talking. These coaches are the same ones that said Jameson Williams might not ever have those all-world hands. They don't just fluff guys to fluff guys. They tell you what they think, what they see, what they feel. And that's what I expect out of Jameson Williams. I really think he's going to be that guy this year.
6. Love it, man.
That's it. That is it. All right. Let's take the break. KG, Juices, settle in.
Oh, God.
I have some questions.
No, don't
they're questions.
Don't save me just for the Michigan segment. No, don't do that.
When we come back, we're going to cut the
Let's lock in.
Michigan football style. Tell them about Premier Pet Supply.
Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 50 years with 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Neil Rule here for Woodward merch. Yes, go to shop.woodwardsports.com. You see it right there in the middle, the centerpiece of the entire collection. Boo them kids. I was told by people that used to be in this town that we boo children. So you know what? Let's embrace it. Let's play the hits. Get your Boo them kids shirt. Go to Ford Field. Sunday night football. Opening weekend.
Boo them kids.
Oh my! I just said that out loud and realized how close that is.
Very close.
Yeah.
Ooh, boo them kids.
Ooh, you want to boo your own kids, don't you?
Oh my God! I got to get it right. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Boo them kids. Neil Rule, Sean Belegian, the legend here. A show that's probably about 10 years too late in this town, but hey, we made it here. We're here today. KG, Jesus, Spencer Rachter. It's a Cut the Shit Thursday. Very, very simple premise. We get a topic, you cut the shit on it. Where are you at? And that's what we're doing here right now. Woodward Sports chat thread here on Mark M. See, I have respect for a guy like here on Mark M. I would have traded J-Mo for a third rounder a year ago, but I am a convert now. J-Mo jet sweep is my favorite play in football. I love it.
It's outstanding. It's fun to watch. And I'm so tired of the jet sweep. I really am. I'm so tired. Except for him. I mean, how many times have you seen somebody roll with the jet sweep and you're like, oh, cool. This is, all right. This is great. And yet with him, it's exciting. Like the Wildcat. Like somebody rolls out with the Wildcat, and I'm like, where's Ronnie Brown? That's so 12 years ago. I'm kind of getting that way with the jet sweep right now. Except when the ball is in his hand, there's another level of excitement there, man. It's real.
He did it in the NFC Championship game against probably the most athletic, hardest-hitting defense in the league and cut through him like a hot knife through butter. Like, he had linebackers grasping at his ankles because he was just burning
See,
by.
I think to your point, Spinny, guys like you and I are so sick of seeing Mark D'Antonio do it.
Yes.
I mean, it really, that's the way it got late D'Antonio. It was like, you're not doing this again, are you? Everybody knows it's coming. And when you got a guy of that caliber with that much explosiveness, it's almost like you're putting the fingers up going, yeah, it's coming. Yep, you know it's coming. Stop it. Yeah. And that's pretty cool, man.
No, it is. It is my favorite play in football. All right. Cut the Shit Thursday, just a fan. The U of M slander about to begin.
Yep.
All right, some ground rules here.
Let the tone begin.
Some ground rules here.
Oh, we're getting ground rules.
No, this is gonna be. This is gonna be. I am asking questions.
I want a clean, fair fight.
I'm asking questions.
I want a clean, fair fight.
There's
Neil.
no slander.
Okay.
There's no slander.
Even Sean Belegian can tip his cap and say Michigan is on top.
Have no choice.
You can't say it without the caveat at the end.
Have no choice.
When have I not said they are the national champions?
Stop.
I watched them get the trophy.
Stop.
When have I not said that?
Stop right there.
When have I not said that?
Stop right there. Sean Belegian stops right where you just stopped.
Right.
But go ahead, continue.
Now, was their quarterback recruited illegally? Yes, he was. But you know what?
Here we go.
You are mad because you all finally did what I've been saying you should do since I worked with this guy at another station about 8 years ago.
That was a self-serving
When are you
opinion.
going to stop sending a mouse into the snake pit and send your own snake?
That was a self-serving opinion. If Michigan had lost to Alabama, you would have came in here and torched their ass up.
100%?
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's how it works.
You hate Michigan.
Okay, all right. See? I'm getting it back on the rails.
Me and Belegian can have a good, clean
We're
talk
getting this
about
back
Michigan,
on the rails.
Michigan
All right,
State.
Sean, Michigan football, cut the shit. Where are you at with them this year?
Good team. But like I think if you're expecting to follow up with what's happened the last few years, I think you have what could be an elite defense. I think there certainly are questions, most importantly with your quarterback. And with this conference changing, be careful what you wish for. Because the slander towards Ohio State the last few years is kind of funny. Let's be honest. It's not like they fell off the map. Let's be honest. It's still Ohio State, and Oregon's a flipping wagon, man. And if you don't believe me, you're going to find out in about 3 months. Oregon is a wagon. So 9-win team, maybe 10-win team, but I don't think they're getting back to the playoffs, no.
And they will be, to me, they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely get in the playoffs.
I don't think so. I really don't.
Because if there's any, whatever the line of delineation, and look, we're all going into this kind of blind right now. Like, we think we know, but we don't know. Whatever the cutoff is, if it's a 3-loss team, they're getting in.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way it works for Michigan. And it should.
It's the Big Ten.
It's the Big Ten.
And they have one of the hardest schedules in the country.
Big Ten and SEC
it's hard for them, no
reserved.
doubt. Like, that's one of the hardest schedules they've had in a long time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In a long time. But with all that being said, okay, KMG King, Neil cried when Bama lost to Michigan. He loves to hate on them.
I hate Michigan openly.
You have a reason, though. Neil doesn't. Oakland basketball guy.
So here we go. Well, hey, last time Michigan came to the arena, they took that slug.
Absolutely they did.
They ain't been back since.
Yeah, absolutely they did.
And I
give you that all the way.
All right, but anyway,
Absolutely.
though.
I love Oakland.
Here's where I am with it, okay? And Sean, what you said, they're a borderline playoff team then.
Yeah,
I think they'll probably end up in. You think they'll probably end up out. Somewhere in the middle, there's a common ground there.
Yep.
Borderline playoff team. I say probably, you say probably not.
Yep.
Okay, fair. So we're not that far apart. The deal with them for me is this, and it's fine. They won the national championship last year. They did, 100%. So you elevate, right? You elevate and you won the national championship. The whole leaders and best, the best program in the history of college football. But Sean, I'm sorry. Yes, you got one. But to be at that level, I am going to need more. And that's how this works. This isn't moving the goalpost, so don't clutch your pearls, Michigan fans. This isn't moving the goalpost.
I'm listening.
This is the next step in the evolution. If you pop up and get one, and then you're just another team the rest of the time, you're Auburn. You're Auburn from the mid-2000 teens, where you popped up one time, you had a good player, you won a chip, and then you just kind of faded off into mediocrity the rest of the time. That's what's on the line for Michigan now. Now, does this year dictate it? No, but the next couple years do.
Absolutely.
And if you go back to being a 9-win team, a 10-win team that gets in the playoff, and maybe you win a playoff game because you get that home game, and then maybe you get cooked the next round, then that's what you are. You're Auburn to me. There's levels to this in college football, and that's fair. KG, I don't care what you guys say.
No, listen.
That is fair.
Listen, for once, we agree. I absolutely agree with that statement. You are absolutely right. But Sharon Moore, I have full confidence that he can get this program back where it needs to be. It's not going to show right away, but for people that think that it's just going to be a steep fall off, you got another thing coming, man. We got Wink Martindale, defensive
KG, and that's fine. You can get granular about it, but right. Sean, my point of it is this. If what you say happens and they don't make the playoff, to me, if your leaders invested, that's unacceptable.
Yeah,
that's unacceptable. But I don't think it is to you.
Can I say this though? You also have to remember, who are they losing to? If we sit back and say, let's say they lose to Texas, okay?
Ohio State,
and Oregon. Let's go with those three, okay?
All three of them will be in the playoff.
And that's what I worry about, especially Texas. Texas is the one team that I worry about, because if you're sitting there, all things are considered equal, and you have that committee, the fraudulent committee, I might add, sitting in a room. You have two traditional blue bloods, one from the SEC, one from the Big Ten, having a conversation about who's in 3-loss Texas or 3-loss Michigan.
They're going to put Texas every
time. They're going to put Texas in.
Yeah.
And that's my concern.
To the SEC, clearly.
That's my concern for Michigan. If we can all agree 3 losses isn't a disastrous season under this new umbrella, and it's going to take some getting used to, okay? The one thing for me, I don't know about you guys, is, you see things pop up on ESPN, or you read the magazines like I do, and I'm reading the magazines, I'm like going, wait a second, wasn't Justin just at Colorado last year? Now he's at Arizona State? It's almost like our brains have to be rewired because there's so much turnover. And that's one thing we have to take into consideration. I don't think people are playing chess when they just throw out that blanket statement, I think this team's going to be a playoff. Okay, well, then let's dig a little deeper. If we can all sit here and agree, and it sounds like Oregon, Texas, maybe Ohio State. Well, then what happens when they're having that debate about number 12? It could be, I'm not saying you're wrong, it could be in Michigan's favor. Maybe Texas is only a 2-loss team. Maybe Oregon's a 1-loss team, automatically in. Same thing with Ohio State, whatever the case may be. But that's what I worry about with a team like Michigan in this position when you're talking about the 3 losses. Because, yes, 3 losses will get teams in. Make no mistake about that. It's going to get who did you lose to, and are they one of those teams on the fringe? And that's the great unknown right now.
Can I cut the shit?
Yeah, go ahead, real quick.
Texas, Oregon, Ohio State, I'm calling my shot, all will be top 5 teams going into the playoff in terms of the rankings. They might not have that bye because that's division winners, but Ohio State will be very good. They are one of the most talented rosters in the country, and Michigan fans need to realize that. I know we have dominated them the last 3 years, and Ryan Day has not had the hard players, and they've been soft, and they have been able to deal with the Michigan on the line of scrimmage. But they have way more talented roster than us this year, when last year you could argue Michigan's talent was at the same level. That matters, and the dominance could have a turnover because also that was a Jim Harbaugh-led team. And Sherrone Moore, coaching the game, but not the entire week leading up to the game. Sherrone Moore still has stuff to prove as the head coach of Michigan.
Young Justin, I'm very proud of you right now because that has become one of my, and I made reference to it, and you did a better job of explaining it to me. The slander towards Ohio State, who by far and away was the class of this conference for 20 years.
For 2 decades.
Let's be honest. By far and away, it wasn't close, okay? Including winning multiple national championships, I might add. The slander and they're soft and they're just going to disappear, take that someplace else, man. That's not living in reality. You get your flowers, you get your tip of the cap for what you've done the last 3 years. There's no doubt about that. But it's not like Ohio State has fallen off. If their bad moments are 2 lost seasons, man, that's still a hell of a lot better than anybody in this conference has been able to say in a long time. And that's their bad moments. If you want to say they're not elite, we can have that conversation. Much to your point, if you want to say that Ohio State doesn't belong in that rarefied air that Michigan wants to make a claim for, yes, we can have that conversation. But we're still talking the Big Ten, guys, okay? If 2 losses is your down period, that's still infinitely better than other programs around here. And that's my worry heading into this season, because I agree with you. In all my preseason research, I think this Ohio State team's going to be a wagon. I think Ohio State and Oregon's going to be a hell of a lot of fun this year.
And you spoke of the last 20 years. Michigan has had a losing season in the last 10 years. And people forget about that. Ohio State's worst season is 2 losses. Like, you have to give them the respect that they deserve. It's not just going to be.
And people forget they were a missed field goal away from a national title.
Exactly.
Yes.
They were a missed field goal away from
they
the national.
They would have ran TCU in that title game, just like Georgia did.
I know.
They were just as talented, just as dynamic.
You mean their quarterback wouldn't have thrown 2 pick sixes in the game?
Probably not.
All right, let's do this. I did that for you, Sean. You're here as a guest. You're here as a guest.
I give you an A.
Also, that's below the belt. I was at that game.
All right, let's do this. Let's take the break because there is a comment here that I want to get to. We're drilling down here, KG, because I want KG's cut the shit where you're at with Michigan football. Let's do this. Let me tell you about Planet Fitness. We're live at the Planet Fitness Studios. Was there this morning, getting in the long run, little 5-miler today. That's what we were doing. But you can do all that at Planet Fitness. Tons of cardio equipment. At your flavor, stretch zones, whatever you need to do, you can get done at Planet Fitness. And guess what? A Black Card membership is $24.99 a month. You're not paying $80, $90, $100 a month like some of these people are for their gym. Why? For real, what are you getting that you're not getting at Planet Fitness, man? Clean facilities, go take your shower. I've been a member over 3 years. I'll never be a member at another gym. Why? Planet Fitness, everybody. Go to planetfitness.com. Join there. Pull in the parking lot. There's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit. You can join there as well. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
How would you like $10 of free product from Dispo Dispensary?
Hell yeah. Tell
Screenshot
me
this
more.
image
Yeah.
with the QR code and bring it in any Dispo location, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in store with a minimum purchase of $25. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com.
I'm in.
Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, hour number 2 of the show. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for D-Mac. I can't believe that was an hour already, but
Yeah.
it was. We got KG, Juzus, Spencer Raxer, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread as well. Jump into that, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and get in there. Okay.
Neil, can I publicly, I want to publicly acknowledge young Justin.
Okay.
Or what do you...
Juzus.
Juzus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are not a Michigan fan. Like what I just heard out of you, and I'm serious, okay? I have heard like the way that people carry on about Ryan Day and Ohio State. Like I have to go back and look at the record books and make sure there isn't a 3-10 season mixed in there or some crap like that. Like the slander thrown Ohio State's way, and I get it, rivalry, all that stuff. But the slander thrown towards Ryan Day and Ohio State the last few years is really kind of been strange to me. And I guess it's easy to do that when you're on top. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, you can all yell at me. All right? That is still a program that should be envied. Like, seriously, what they've done. And if you want to play the Harbaugh third base card, you can play that until he wins it all. I'm not saying that that's wrong. But these maniacs around town that think that, like, the Ohio...
Your people, KG.
The Ohio State threat is gone. You're out your mind. And like, I haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to hear what you have to say as well. But it's really refreshing to hear you say that because I'm not joking. The people that I talk to, like, that's been a non-conversation because we're going to get in a fight every time we see each other. Oh, Ohio State's done. What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it real because I do know Michigan football. I watch every game, and I will even tell you we were a couple plays away from losing to Ohio State last year. Like, if McCord doesn't make that interception in the first drive of the game is completely different. Like, that was a big house initiated mistake. And people are saying, I see in chat, oh, well, they just have some Kansas State transfer at quarterback this year. You have to realize Will Howard beat that TCU team.
Who's Michigan's quarterback this year?
Alex Orji, someone who's never played a true collegiate snap as a starting quarterback. But Ohio State has a Big 12 championship winning quarterback who outdueled Max Duggan, who beat Michigan in that playoff game. Like, he has a little bit of pedigree to him. Like, they have a more locked up quarterback situation than Michigan has. Straight up.
Yeah.
KG,
offense on the board because they have a more intact offensive line. They have more intact skill position players. They're bringing back Emeka freaking Abuka.
Right.
Who the hell other than Donovan Edwards can you name on this offense? They're also adding Jeremiah Smith. Like, they have dogs, and people have to realize that. And then your point on Oregon, they just brought in Taz Jackson to replace Troy Franklin, who was arguably one of the best receivers in the country.
I think they're the only team in the nation that can beat Georgia this year. I'm serious. I think Georgia's just going to run away and hide. Everybody knew, and again, please,
still absurd they didn't get a playoff.
This is not directed at you. I hope you know this.
I know that.
If there was a year to get Georgia, it was last year.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I agree with that.
right?
Yeah, it was.
Everybody.
I agree with that.
So that's not taking anything away from Michigan. I know people are going to go, "Oh, it's a backhanded." No. Michigan's a national champion. There, I'm going to keep tipping my cap just to give you the love that you deserve. But everybody knew that last year was going to be a little less version of Georgia. Georgia's sick. They are like what Kirby's
They lost
done
one
there.
game in 3 years and didn't get in the playoff.
What Kirby's done, and I think this year is going to be different. I think that they're going to be back on top. But honestly, if there was one team in the nation that I think could give them a go, I think it's Oregon. I really do.
All right, KG.
Yeah.
Is my point about Michigan fair?
Absolutely.
It's fair to you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can I read some comments here?
Yeah.
James Ganella. I don't need Michigan to win a national championship this season. I'm still high from last year. If they have a winning record, I'll be happy.
Oh, God.
Bada bing, bada boom. Neil, no matter what they do, you'll always need more because you hate Michigan football, which is not the case. If you are going to be the Georgias, the Alabamas,
you got to retool.
You got to be back in the mix. You don't get to pop up every 30 years and win a chip and say you're the leaders. You don't.
Yeah.
And guys, as we progress through this, yes, things change. You won your national championship. If you don't do it again for another 30 years, you're Auburn. In time, you're Auburn.
I agree.
That's what you are. That's not me hating. That is what you are. So, Sean, forgive me to where if I want to hear about how you're a national powerhouse, I got to see more. Is that unfair?
No. And you know what? And my boy Ryan Ermanni have gone back and I have gone back and forth on this. I always used to do the whole leaders and best bit with him. But this reminds me of the conversation. Granted, it's next level, okay? Because, again, won multiple Big Ten championships, won a natty, tip of the cap, here it comes again. But for the span of about 15 years, okay, people were talking about Michigan being something they weren't. They couldn't even find a way to win a less than Big Ten conference. And so Ryan got really mad at me. One day we were having a conversation. I said, you guys have turned into an also-ran in your own conference. Where's this boisterous stuff come from? He was furious. Ryan blew up at me, and I was like, Ryan, I'm not even trying to flame you right now. What part of that is false? You've been an also-ran. You've mixed in non-bowl seasons. You've mixed in, golly gee, we came close, but we finished in our own third in our own division. And I think that's what, Neil, that's the issue that I have. A lot of the fan base, not everybody, because it sounds like we got two guys in here that are seeing things the way they are. I think a lot of people want to put Michigan on a pedestal that they don't belong. And if you want to be on the pedestal that Neil's talking about, you can't mess around. You can't.
You got to bag 2 of them in 6 years, 3 of them in 7 years. Like Alabama, like Georgia.
At least seriously be in the mix. At least, here we are in the Final Four again. Because I'm never going to begrudge a Final Four. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. I think it's stupid when people try to do it to Izzo or anybody else for that. It's a Final Four, man. Knock it off. So if Michigan does something like that, then yeah, we do have to talk about Michigan. Okay, Michigan's back, man. They're one of the elite blue bloods. But until that happens, I think you're going to have people wondering that, just like Neil did. The best way to make somebody like Neil shut up, the next 2 years make 2 runs. Then 2 years from now, I know Neil well enough. Neil's going to go, yeah, they did it.
You did your Rick Ross. You showed us.
You did it.
Show us.
I need to tap in because I can't keep having Twitter's fingers in chat because I'm getting came at right now. Pause.
Hey, yo.
Not probably the best use of that word, but
real quick, Kenneth Matthews. Neil's a bum. All right, go ahead.
All right. Sharon Moore is not Jim Harbaugh.
Thank you.
You cannot put them in the same sentence on the same pedestal. You have a false pedestal for Sharon Moore right now. He did coach that Ohio State game, but that's still all Jim Harbaugh's players. That is Jim Harbaugh's scheme. He coached the entire week leading up to it. That was Jim Harbaugh's mentality, his mantras. It is going to be different. It's going to be Sharon Moore's team. Mm-hmm. He is going to keep some elements of Harbaugh, but this is going to be his program now. You don't know. We also don't know if a freshman quarterback who hasn't even shown any signs that he can be a collegiate level passer, that he can go into Ohio State and win. I'm sorry, Ryan Day is above Sharon Moore in a coaching power ranking, and I don't care if you say that's stupid. Ryan Day was a field goal away from a national title. He's won a playoff game, right?
No.
No.
They haven't played for a national title under his watch. Yeah. They have won a couple. Woodward Sports Chat thread, Day Wren. Neil Rule should not be allowed on the air with some of the opinions he has. The answer
I don't understand. Okay,
here we go.
Hold on, Spenny. Hold on, Spenny. Wait. There's more. Answer 14. This idea that Michigan can't have a long dynasty like Ohio State is typical Woodward Sports hate. Neil is a hater, and his words are spoken with a forked tongue. He's a fellow hater on the mic with him now.
Jesus
and again,
Christ,
it goes back to
you guys are so soft. You're national champions. Stop being so soft. What is wrong with you? Stop the victim mentality. You are national champions. It's not, oh, boo, it's me. Why aren't they sucking my dick? Be national champions. I don't understand it.
It goes to this. Ja Wall says, the difference is Michigan wasn't going to do the things the SEC have been doing for so long. Now that they have, everyone cries. All right, Ja Wall, I don't. I celebrate it. Because I was right.
And that's all you really wanted. But
was I right?
I celebrate it because
was
I don't care.
Right? Yes, Neil. Damn.
Why does that hurt to say?
It doesn't, man. But I know.
It sounds like it does.
I know
you have tone.
I know your actual motives when you say that, man. You ultimately just wanted to be right with your take. But you were right. I will give you this.
Well, what? Listen. You can't say the quarterback was recruited illegally.
Listen. I know we go back and forth with that. That's fine, man. But I do agree with your take that they can't be another Auburn. So, of course, in the next few years leading up, they need to retool. They need to be able to get this thing going. I just believe in the long-term vision of what they got. I believe in Sharon Moore.
Okay. There it is. And, Sean, here it is right now.
What?
My cut the shit on Michigan.
Cut the shit? Yeah.
It wasn't Michigan. It's Harbaugh. And Harbaugh walked out the door.
Yeah.
And I don't think Michigan, from a departmental perspective, is in a position to keep this thing rolling. You want me to break it down for you? That's because I had faith in Jim Harbaugh, and you guys cannot lie.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh is an elite football coach. Elite. So much, Sean, that he tried to play the Michigan card. He tried to do the Michigan man integrity thing, and it wasn't working. And so he had to get in the weeds, too, and he did, and he was masterful at it. Masterful. Got you your quarterback that you won with.
He did. All with a cheeseburger.
When he left, I believe that the music died when he left. Now, we'll have to see.
That remains to be seen because, you know what, a lot of people, the Urban Meyer to Ryan Day. And I think for a couple years, people thought, ooh, this Ryan Day is dangerous. And then Michigan got dangerous. And this talks back to the slander that we were just talking. It's like, it'd be one thing if they fell off the map. If they pulled an Auburn, okay, where Auburn goes and wins a natty, and then they're mixing in 6-7 and 7-6 and 8-5. Well, that's not what happened. So right now, the only way that you're going to be able to tell Neil he's wrong in this state, if you're going to be logical about it, if Moore rolls off a couple of 9-3, 10-2, God forbid 11-1 seasons, and gets himself into the playoff, then we can all sit back and go, that didn't fall off. Michigan is as relevant now as they were then. And I think that's what kept Ryan Day up in the conversation. Let's not forget, you go back to 2020, this was looking much different. A lot of people were saying, okay, this is never going to work for Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. Whether you guys want to admit it or not, a lot of you were saying, it's time to move on. And Neil, my quote from day one, I said it on the radio, I said it on television, to me, it was not a question of if Jim Harbaugh finds a way, it's when he finds a way. Now, it took longer than any of us thought. It really did.
Because he was stubborn.
And it almost got to the point where I was like, well, I don't think it's going to work here, okay? But really, when you go back to 2015, it was, okay, eventually he's going to win the Big Ten, because whether you guys wanted to admit it or not, and I had this argument with so many of you over the years that made me sick to my stomach, it has to start with winning your conference. Under the previous way, it did. If you want to grab one of the exceptions, there's a reason why they were exceptions to the rule. Well, now with a 12-team playoff, it doesn't necessarily have to start with winning your conference. But back then, hell yeah, you had to win your conference, and you were incapable of doing it. And that's something that you watched D'Antonio do, that you watched Urban Meyer and Ryan Day do, and it drove you nuts. But now, today, you can sit back and laugh at everybody. Like you guys as Michigan fans, I don't blame y'all. Sit back and laugh at everybody. This goes back to what Spenny said. You know what you do? You go, hey, that's cool, bro.
Yeah.
How's that ring?
Yeah.
How's that ring?
Anytime anybody brings anything up, I would just say, hey, suck my dick. We're the national champions. Like, I don't understand why you guys aren't doing that. Like, no, don't say that about us. Like, no, you won the national championship. Keep pushing that in people's face. The kiss, anytime anybody in the comments says kiss the ring, I can't say anything about it because you
gotta shut up.
Yeah.
CK in the chat. Oh, now it's Harbaugh, Neil. You hated the guy for years. When did I hate Harbaugh, KG?
I don't think you hated Harbaugh.
When have I hated Harbaugh?
Neil has been on the mic consistently saying Jim Harbaugh is one of the best football coaches in the world.
And now I'm starting to think that you don't even dislike Michigan. I think you just despise the fan base.
No, I just expect more than you guys do.
You despise the fan base.
No, I just expect more than you guys do.
Not every Michigan fan is built the same.
Called him mediocre for years, flip-flopping Neil. Okay, so let me wrap it up with this. All right,
we're
CK,
mediocre for years.
KG,
Bam.
all of you. So if Sharon Moore is Ryan Day, you'll hate it, right?
If he's Ryan Day, in terms of success,
you'll hate it, right?
Why would I hate that?
Why are you flip-flopping?
Why am I flip-flopping?
Because Ryan Day's a bad coach. Ryan Day's soft. His teams are soft.
No,
so if Sharon Moore is Ryan Day, you're cool with it.
I've never said, the only thing that I've said negative about Ryan Day is that I don't think he can get it done in the big one. How am I flip-flopping?
So you're cool with that then? If Sharon Moore is Ryan Day, if they have the exact same arc, exact same coaching.
Oh, if we talking the exact same arc, but he would have to.
Are you cool with it?
He would have to get it done in the postseason. So by that metric, no.
Ryan Day does have a playoff win, by the way. Shout out Chase Hamley for the stat for me. He won in 2019.
Who they beat?
That was They
beat Clemson? I can't remember.
Was that the
they
first
lost
year
to Bama in the
playoff?
title game.
That was the first year of the playoff.
That is right.
Oh,
that is right.
They did.
They beat Clemson, I want to say, right?
First year of the playoff, yeah.
Okay. So, okay.
But
so that's it then. So, CK, I'll ask you in the chat, too.
If
Sharon Moore is Ryan Day, you're cool with it?
No.
So you're asking for more?
Yes.
2019.
But when I do it, I'm a dick.
Because you have this tone about it.
Oh, a tone. Okay.
Yes, because you don't like the fan base. That's
cash
fine.
my money line.
No.
I bet all my life savings on the tone. I just cashed the money line.
2019 was Clemson over Alabama.
Yeah,
See, now I got to look
2019 is LSU beat Alabama in the championship. Or LSU beat Clemson in the championship game.
So Ryan Day does
2019.
But anyway,
Ohio State lost to Clemson.
Whether or not he does or doesn't,
in the Fiesta Bowl.
If that's what Sharon Moore does, that's good enough for you.
He's been a good coach, but he can't get it done when it matters. So no, that wouldn't be good enough for me.
2018.
Yeah, and then Clemson lost to that LSU juggernaut.
Yeah. Is it 2018? Maybe they're thinking.
Alabama over Georgia. That was the OT game.
Yeah. I don't remember.
He might not then.
Ohio State playing, or Ryan Day coached Ohio State team being in the national championship.
Yeah.
Okay. Chad 216. No, Neil does expect more from Michigan because he believes in the program more than Michigan fans, and that is true. I mean, you can get granular about it.
Man.
You can get granular about leadership that I don't buy on, and you guys don't either. So we've been in agreement on that. All right, we blew past that break. Spenny, it's your turn. When we come back.
Oh, great.
It's your turn. It's time to cut the shit. Where are you at with Michigan State football?
I'll cut the shit.
All right. Let's do it. What one are we on here?
We
Swiss
are on
Insurance,
Swiss,
right? All right,
yes. I will tell you about Swiss Insurance. Now more than ever, it is critical to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss INS today. 313-530-1698. SwissINS.com. Make sure, call Mark today. He's going to hook you up. He'll take care of you. It's Swiss Insurance.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford, together, let's ride.
All right, keeping it pushing here. Cut the shit Thursday.
Cut the shit.
Sean Belizean.
Can I fact check?
Yeah.
It was the COVID year. Do you remember they pounded Clemson? And then they got curb stomped by Ohio or by
Alabama.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, they got curb stomped. So, listen, guys, Neil, sorry to continue that. I'm picking up exactly what you were dropping. If Sharon Moore is merely Ryan Day, that's okay. It's all right. You know, of course you want to mix in a natty, but going to multiple playoffs, playing for a national championship, for all the soft
But did you see the chat? Did you see the chat?
Dude,
no. KG said no.
It's not.
Like, so then, like, you guys are with me.
You need more. Yes, I was about to say you can't have it both ways, but yes, I'm with you.
You wouldn't be happy with multiple Big Tens and multiple playoffs and going playing for a natty?
That we would have to eventually get over that hump. Okay. All that is fine, but I can't.
I think it keeps you in the rarefied air, though. If you have the kind of run that Ryan Day did his first few years, where you set your watch with, they were winning the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Okay. They were going to the playoff, and the one time they played for a natty. Okay. Guess what? If that's the trajectory of Moore, his first 3 or 4 years, then guess what? Michigan remains in that rarefied air.
I guess.
I think that answers Neil's question. In my mind, that answers Neil's question.
That's the same trajectory that Harbaugh had his first few years. He was winning games, but he couldn't get the Big Ten championship.
He couldn't get the Big Ten, and obviously couldn't get in the playoffs. So, yeah, I'm with you.
I would need to see more eventually.
All right, Spenny, what do you want to do? Because we cooked the break.
Yep.
Do you want to sneak the break in real quick and get into it? Or do you want to do, is this what Mike G says? MSU football segment with Spenny, this will be a brisk 2 minutes.
I mean, there's what am I supposed to say? I expect 7 wins out of this MSU football team next year.
6.
They've got some good transfers. Obviously, Aiden Childs is a good one. They've got Tanner Miller also coming from Oregon State. He's all Big 12 offensive lineman. The guys that
can I ask a question about Aiden Childs real quick?
Yeah.
Like, based on what?
Based on who he was as a prospect and what we've seen when he was thrown into games. Obviously, they ran with Uiagalelei because he was the guy they brought in to be the dude. But looking at him on his tape in high school, what he did in high school, what he did when he was gotten in the game, we just can't expect high school prospects to translate now? Like, that's what college is.
This is kind of Tigers opening day right now.
I expect a good high school quarterback to be a good college quarterback. I don't think that's asking too much.
Okay.
And then you got a guy in K'Ron Lynch-Adams who was a fantastic running back for UMass last year. He had over 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns to go in the backfield with Nate Carter. I think that'll take a big roll off of what they need out of Aiden Childs in the passing game, because you got a real nasty two-headed rushing attack with those two guys. And what was his name? I'm looking for it right now. The linebacker, Jordan Turner, the linebacker from Wisconsin, I think he is also going to be a big addition to the defense.
I'm terrified of the offensive line as a Spartan fan.
Yeah.
I am. And I think that has been part and parcel with a lot of the success that they've had in the past decade, especially under Mark D'Antonio, as they had that offensive line.
When you were putting dudes in the first round and second round of the draft.
And to Spenny's point, though, okay, guys, I'm serious, and I know somebody's going to probably say Spenny's being a slapdick, and, Belegian, wow, shocker, you're being a Spartan slapdick. You guys look at their schedule.
Yeah.
Seriously, take the time to look at their schedule. I'm not saying that they're all that. I'm not saying that they're going to surprise. Jonathan Smith's biggest job with this team is to undo all the crap of the past year, off and on the field, okay? That's his biggest job this year. But I will take it a step further, okay? And I'm not going to waste all your time looking at their schedule. If they can't win 6 games and become bowl eligible,
That's
unacceptable.
unacceptable.
It is unacceptable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
It is. With this schedule especially.
You got 4 wins baked in to start it off. You got Florida Atlantic, Maryland, Prairie View A&M, and Boston College. Then you got back-to-back ass whoopings. You're going to get absolutely plastered by Ohio State and Oregon. Then you got Iowa. Don't know what's going on with Iowa this year. We'll see. Michigan, I expect a loss from Michigan. Then you have Indiana, Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers. If you can't win 2 of those games, you're telling me you can't win 2 of those games.
And seriously, that's where I'm at. I'm not even calling all the first 4 all wins.
Yeah.
Like, would it shock you if they went to Chestnut Hill and ended up losing to BC? Wouldn't shock me.
Not really, no.
Because there are a lot
They're
of
going to
issues
be an underdog
with this
in
team.
that game.
They will
absolutely,
be.
they will.
BC's quarterback is very good.
Absolutely.
They're going to be an underdog.
So that's Spenny.
To
It's
BC.
funny. It's funny that you break it down, and maybe that's the difference between 6 for me and 7 for you.
Yeah.
I think 3 out of 4, and then there's that string. You got Indiana at home.
Yeah.
You're at Illinois. You got Purdue at home, and you got Rutgers at home. Take care of 3 of those. You're at 6 win. You're playing in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and I will be there. You're literally you are going to Yankee Stadium, and you're playing against some crap team. But unfortunately, that's the reality of where they're at right now, Neil.
And that's where it is. Like you can't come off of what happened at that program, and to not make a bowl in today's day and age.
What a quarterback now.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Sean's concern leads me to concern about that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like the season total over under for wins is 4.5. They don't give things away there.
You don't got to play Penn State. You don't got to play Wisconsin. You should be able to sneak into a bowl.
How many times did we see last year spend? And you don't check out. You're a fan of the team, but how many times did you see they needed a tough yard and they simply could not
against Iowa?
Couldn't get it.
Yeah,
and that's too fresh in my mind. I need to see it. I don't know if the answers are there, but my goodness gracious, with that schedule being what it is,
yeah. They should have won that game against Iowa last year.
100%.
They lost on a Cooper DeJean punt return touchdown.
Yep, 100%.
Which is what bad teams do.
Yeah, and you were a bad team. We were a bad team last year.
And it can't continue, Spenny.
No,
it can't continue.
I like Jonathan Smith. Obviously, it's going to take another year to fully revamp the roster. But with the patchwork pieces he brought in, I think they can get to 6 or 7 wins.
I don't buy into winning like press conferences. I don't. You know, when somebody goes, oh, he won the press conference. But what I do is I want to hear guys check the check boxes, okay? And in my mind, when Jonathan Smith had that press conference, and I had a chance to talk to him after the fact as well, this is a guy that, A, knew where he was, knew what boxes to check, and knew the work in front of him. Because I think the tendency sometimes is to come in and say, hey, everything's going to be okay. And he didn't. He understands the work that's in front of him. He understands where he's at.
Yes.
He had to deal with a lot of the shortcomings that Michigan State has to deal with when he was at Oregon State. And he found a way to make it work. And so, to me, that's, again, not winning the press conference because I don't believe in that crap. I mean, I think one of the greatest wins in the history of press conferences was Brady Hoke's. How did that work out?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think you have to at least understand where you are, and what you need to do. And boy, I think he's 3 for 3 in that regard.
Yeah. And what I like about what he did with the offense, obviously Aiden Childs was the prize piece. You didn't just get Aiden Childs. You got his center and you got his tight end. Yep. Guys that he is comfortable with, guys that he knows. You've got 2,000+ yard running backs behind him. And then you add, like
somebody
I said,
in the chat said that their Michigan State running backs were killing him in NCAA football 25.
They are really good. Like Nate Carter is a load. He does not go down easy. And the kid we got from UMass ran for 1,100+ yards and 12 touchdowns in 12 games last year.
I doubled back, Jesus, when you were talking to me about Michigan's schedule, and they are going to make the playoff.
Yeah,
there's 7 gimmies on there.
Yeah, they don't have to play
7 gimmies.
They're not playing Penn State either. They're not playing Wisconsin either.
Fresno State, Arkansas State, Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan State, Indiana, Northwestern.
Just the pure fact that they could have 3 losses baked in.
The only games I could see them losing are Texas, Oregon, and Ohio State.
Those are the 3 that I'm looking at. And
it's hard to go to Washington.
That's the 3 everybody's looking at.
And again, it depends what they do as well.
But Washington,
that's my concern for Michigan this year. Is like legitimately you could have a really good team and finish 9-3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's my concern for Michigan, and then you have to factor in what happens to Texas in the SEC now? Are they a really good 3-loss team in the SEC? And if they beat Michigan, does that end up hurting Michigan? I don't know. We're all going to have to take a wait and see, how that all plays itself out in December.
All right, let's take the break, and when we come back, I got a short one because Sean Belizean is a Heisman voter, and I have this is going to be a segment for me, like a 5-minute segment. I want to pick his brain on the state of college football. I think that's cool to do. I think that is cool to do.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, let's do it. Morning show, everybody. That's right, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on the Woodward Sports Network. You know the players, you know the game. Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, KG, the legend JB Smoove is there as well every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Woodward Sports, Detroit's #1 sports network. Again, Woodward Sports, Detroit's #1 sports network. By any metric you want, Woodward Sports.
What about the Allied Challenge?
Let's talk about the Allied Challenge, one of my favorite events of the summer. And hey, guys, poll number 17, it's always a party. And August 22nd through the 25th, the party's going on at Warwick Hills. Leave the golf to the pros, but make sure you get out there for the $2 Birdie beers. They got the concerts going Friday and Saturday night and more. Tickets start at just $15. Go to alliedchallenge.com and have a good time.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right, everybody, don't miss out on the Expert sports injury insights provided by Dr. Jeff Pierce of the Michigan Sports and Spine Center, also powered by MRI of Southfield. Dr. Pierce comes on Tuesday, Big D Energy, and Thursdays with Ermanni and Edwards with the top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that Darren McCarty trusted with his career. Dr. Pierce can keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more info, go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. All right, keeping it pushing. Fun show today. Big D Energy. Fastest show in the history of sports talk today. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Juzus, Spencer Raxter. Power Neck is in the building. Power Neck, how was the workout this morning?
It was good, man. Morning came early, man. Had to make a day trip to Illinois, so a little tired, man. So I appreciate the energy.
But you were still on the hill, right? Were you on the hill today?
No. That will be this afternoon. I will be.
Trying to give it a go, man. Becoming a pro. I love it. But welcome in, Power Neck. Good to have you, man.
Good to be here.
All right. Sean, real quick, just a quick segment. Going to get us back on the clock. I do want to get into the Red Wings thing. College football. This is for me, everyone. I do a lot for you, so give me this 5 minutes, all right? Sean, college football, cut the shit. Where are you with college football as a whole? Because you're one of the OGs. You and I are the sickos watching Mountain West on CBS Sports Network.
Love it.
Sean, the Hawaii home game at midnight. I alter my schedule for the week. I'm locked in. And it's funny. I'll text you just out of the blue. You watching this Hawaii game?
Hell yeah. the slander towards week 0, I don't get it. It's more college football.
Give me the football.
Give me the football.
Give me the football.
Where are you at, Sean? Cut the shit. Where are you at with college football?
I'm terrified. I am. I think everything happened too fast and without regulation. Look, it was about time for these guys to get paid. Mm-hmm. There was no doubt about it. I don't know how anybody can argue that, but I think we just went too fast. I think the transfer portal, I joined the growing list of coaches that we. How do you undo Pandora's box? Like, it's open. It's wide open. I'm terrified. I'm not saying it's gonna go away or anything like that. Don't think I'm going. But yeah, there are a lot of things. We're in unprecedented territory. Nothing has exploded in my mind on the mainstream sports landscape like college football in the last 30 years. I can't compare anything to it. It really is a solid number 2 in this nation right now. There's no mistake about it. There is. The NFL is king. We all know it. College football is a strong number 2. I don't care what anybody says. It really is. But yeah, there are a lot of concerns about where it's going. And if I sound like an old dude, so be it. But I mean, we don't have a lot of answers to a lot of things right now. You know, this is kind of uncharted territory. So I'm really intrigued to see how things go.
Phil in the chat says college football is dead. And Sean, like there has been an overreaction to this to me. Because we heard this when the transfer portal started. What was that? It's 5 years ago, or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Like, we heard that. And the world's been turning. The TV contracts have only gotten bigger.
That's what I'm saying. If anything, it's more exciting now.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know where they got that one from.
I think that people have overreacted to this. I think that they have been fed a narrative that the sky is falling and things like that. College football will always be undefeated. Mm-hmm. To me, it will. Sean, I prefer it to the NFL. Because I can pick and choose what style of football I like to watch. That's how I got into the Hawaii thing 15, 20 years ago. When June Jones was there and they're running the run and shoot.
Boise.
I was locked in. Boise was another way. And you can you can do the Michigan angle, you know, with the I formation, the pro style offense, all that kind of. If that's what you like, you can do it. Dominant defenses, gimmicky offenses, which is like it's all out there. The triple option.
Yep. And that's why I wanted to be very careful not to go the dramatic thing. I mean, it's a societal problem today. I mean, honestly,
it's the NCAA's fault.
Not getting into politics, but I think it goes beyond sports. I mean, how many times the end of democracy from both sides? You hear these grandiose statements, and I'm not saying it's going to die, but are there concerns? Oh, absolutely, there are concerns. There's no doubt about that. And you know, at the end of the day, Neil, the reasons that you just gave is exactly like somebody like me. I've been opposite of everybody else. I would say around 2000, maybe around 2000, 2001, the NCAA started going like this for me, NCAA football. Every year, just a little bit more than the NFL every year since then. I'm not going to lie to you, it's at a healthy distance right now. And I still love the NFL. I'm all in. Can't wait for the Lion seasons. My expectations are as high as everybody else's. But for the reasons you just gave is why college football still has a special place to me. And I say this in all sincerity, and I've said this forever, and I'll say it one more time for posterity, just in case you haven't heard it or any of the guys in this room. I am a hockey guy first. I think hockey's the greatest sport on earth. I have no problem saying that. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, in the sporting world like being on a campus on Saturday morning. Nothing compares. Nothing. It is
100%.
It is the best feeling in sports. I don't care if you're walking into Rynearson Stadium. I don't care if you're going to Tom Adams Field. I don't care if you're going to the Big House. I don't care if you're going to Notre Dame. There is nothing like being on a college football campus on a Saturday morning.
And even this, too, like Lems 31M says, a lot of regional traditions are dead, but not the game. And there's a lot of talk about that, too, about how the rivalries have went away. Now, but that's not on college football. And that's not on the NCAA. You know who that's on? And no one's talking about this. That's on the coaches and the ADs. They could very easily do it if they wanted to.
You know what?
Very easily do it.
You know what makes me sad is I'm sitting in the room with a bunch of guys. And, Neil, this may be even a little bit before your time. The world stopped when Oklahoma and Nebraska played. The world stopped.
Yep.
And it was always the day after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
The world stopped. It was like, I don't care who you were, who you rooted for. That means nothing to you guys. Oklahoma, Nebraska, what are you talking about, old man? You know what I mean? I miss things like that too. What, Clem, or is that his name? Clem, I miss things like that. Like Oklahoma State, Oklahoma going away. That sucks.
That's on them.
Find a way to keep that alive.
Yeah.
I agree. Find a way, okay? Get past your butt hurt. Maybe this next swing of schedule, and then find a way to get them back on the schedule. That's awesome to me. Like that's been one of those games. Like every year I say to myself, "Oh, I'm not missing that one." Oklahoma State.
It can be done.
Something always wacky happens, and gosh damn it, I want that game.
Because Sean, Florida. I give you Florida as an example. Whose schedule this year is Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss. They are playing also in the non-conference Miami, who's not what they were, but it's cool.
They're going to be really good this year. I can't believe I just said that because Lord knows Miami is back. The U is back, has been out there. I think with that conference being as shitty as it is, Miami's a team that look out. And look out for their quarterback in the Heisman watch, too. You got it.
And by the way,
Look out.
I told him that 2 months ago.
I'm
he kind of laughed in my face a little bit.
I'm done. I'm a Miami guy. Mm-hmm. I love Miami. I refuse to believe it anymore. But that's fine.
I can't blame you.
But they wrap up the season at Florida State. They play that SEC schedule. Mm-hmm. Their non-cons are Miami and Florida State. And oh, by the way, UCF.
That's beautiful.
They did it.
That's beautiful.
And look, Florida's going to be mocked. They're going to be mocked when they're 6-6.
Yeah.
They're going to be laughed at and they're going to be mocked, but they should be celebrated.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's fantastic. No, that's hey, look, there was that time in my mind it helped push college football to the next level. Okay, when I talked about the early 90s, Miami, Florida State was one of those games for a period of time that the world stopped and everybody wanted to see it, and it helped put college football next level. I firmly believe that. So I give that fraud Bobby Bowden and Dennis Erickson credit for help pushing that in the right direction. I really do. Dang nabbit. Oh, I'm so tired of the Bobby Bowden stuff. What a fake. I can act like Jed Clampett too. You know, it's like Beverly Hillbillies, man. Stop it.
All right, let's do this. Let's take the break. I got to talk hockey with you. All
right.
We got to cut the shit with the Red Wings because I think it's time for everyone to cut the shit with the Red Wings and just let us know where you stand. Tell them about Mark White.
That's right, Mark White.
Mark White and Associates.
Mark White and
Don't forget the Associates.
That's right, Mark White and Associates. Are you dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates Your trusted real estate experts are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. That's right, markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true. We'll be right back. Short message.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full-line merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed-out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for KDK Law. Guys, look, we're going to get serious right now. Divorce, family law, a lot of people are going through it right now. Child custody, all of it. Chances are you're up nights thinking about it. Chances are you need some excellence on your side. Chances are you could use over 10 years of experience. And maybe the biggest thing in all this, 24/7 availability. KDK Law in Birmingham, right here. They will have your back. Stop staying up all night. Scan the QR code on your screen now and lawyer up. Get the best on your side. You need excellence. KDK Law right here in Birmingham. They have your back. Mention Woodward Sports sent you. They'll pay your filing fee. It's time to get serious with this, guys. KDK Law in Birmingham. All right, coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy. Neil Rule, Sean Belizian in for D-Mac. We're squad deep up in here. It's a Cut the Ish Thursday. And Sean, since you're here, I figured I'd ride off with this. No, not Cut the Ish. Where do you stand with the Canadians? Cut the Ish. Where do you stand with the Red Wings? Because it's, you talked earlier about politics has done this to us. I think one of the biggest examples of that is the Red Wings thing right now. For real, because it flies in the face. The whole Red Wings thing kind of flies in the face of what we say we like as sports fans. New GM comes in, graphical linear improvement every single year that you can point to. Every single year, linear improvement. In the accounting department, massive improvement, i.e. shout out Franz Nielsen. But through it all, Sean, cut the shit. Where are you at with the Red Wings right now?
Better, but it might not translate to what people are looking at. And in my mind, Justin, and it's funny you bring this up, Justin and I were talking about this before the show. I think people better buckle up because Here's a problem that I think people around here are having, okay? I don't know if you know this. The Red Wings aren't the only team that's rebuilding and trying to do it the right way, okay? And here's the problem. You know where there's a plethora of that? In the Atlantic Division, okay? And if you're one of those people that you follow prospect pools and you follow what this team is doing and what that team is doing, here's the teams that you're going to find near the top of the list, like now, okay? You're going to see the Montreal Canadiens in there. You're going to see the Ottawa Senators in there. Not so much in my humble opinion. You're definitely going to see the Buffalo Sabres. Some people will even argue that the Buffalo Sabres are at the top. But in my mind, just this division is one that people are looking at right now going, okay, this is weird. This is going to be scary. So with all that being said, does that guarantee the Detroit Red Wings a playoff spot in 24-25? No. In my mind, no. But I don't think it's the end of the world that people make it out to be. I think, again, this is this just about making the playoff and bowing out to somebody in the first year, or is this about long-term success? And I think that the Detroit Red Wings are on the cusp of long-term success, and very soon, and I've said this for 2 years, I'm going to keep saying it, we're going to see this division do a flip. We're going to see these 3 teams at the bottom that have kind of been scratching and clawing to get theirs flip with the teams that have been on top, like Toronto, like Boston, like Tampa, as some of their aging stars try to go down, and you see all this plethora of talent go up. It's not the end of the world. This is a long-term, long game. And I know people don't want to hear that, but that's why Steve Yzerman is doing it so smartly, and it's going to pay off in the end.
But this vitriolic reaction about it. And, Sean, here's what I can't get past. And there are people at this network, some of who are on in the morning, some of who fill in this show from time to time.
Cough, cough.
This whole thing, like, when did this playoff appearance thing become the political hill to die on? They were 90 seconds away from the playoffs. So, Sean, I know I'm running this by you because you're the hockey guy here. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not smart enough. I don't know. But to judge the tenure of a GM, the trajectory of a franchise that has shown you constant improvement based on 90 seconds of a season not going your way, Sean, that's idiotic to me.
Well, and it's funny because I knew the day that he had his press conference, April 19th, 2019. I'm a firm believer, if you pay attention to what a general manager is saying, you don't listen with your heart, you listen with your ears, okay? If you pay attention to what a general manager is saying, he's going to give you the answers that you're looking for. They may not be the answers that you want to hear. And what he said on that day is, this isn't about just getting back to the playoffs. This is about us going into that position that basically he played in, where every year you go, look out for the Red Wings. Look out for the Red Wings. Now, you don't win the cup every year, and sometimes you flame out miserably, okay? But you know you're going to be in the mix. This franchise isn't at that point yet. They aren't. And there aren't enough draft picks. There isn't enough money to be spent, especially in this era of cap certainty, that allow you to take a jump up quickly like that. It doesn't work that way.
All right, Woodward Sports Chat, and here we go. Cody Engel, stop with the lame-ass 90 seconds BS. We choked away a 9-point lead for a wild card spot. And, Cody, I would say to you, when they got that 9-point lead, they were on a 12-2-2 heater. Were they a 12-2 team last year? At any stretch. They chased it with a 2-12. They're a borderline playoff team. They're around a 500 team, Cody. Like, that's what they are. So you can choose your battles and cut segments of a season. But that's what they were. That's what the math dictated that they were, Cody. And yes, they were 90 seconds away from going to the playoffs. They were.
I don't. All right, so let's play a game of pretend. They make the playoffs, and they get smoked by the Rangers in the first round. Am I missing? Am I missing something? Does that help the long-term plan any much? Like, I'm not being funny.
I've come hand in hand to you, sir. Please help me. I'm looking to you now.
No, I don't understand it.
You tell me. Why is it like this?
I don't understand why just making the playoffs is such a wondrous thing. And Justin, you and I were talking about it. I'll continue the conversation with you here.
Was he wearing his Jamie Benn jersey when you had this conversation?
The Red Wings could take a really big step this year and really watch the maturation of a lot of guys in the system take the next step. And it still might not equal the playoffs. That's the crazy thing about it. And you know what? That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. And I got killed. I got absolutely murdered. You weren't here. I think it was on Monday. But I said the exact same thing.
Did you have your Jamie Benn jersey?
No, I did not. Okay. I had a Red Wings shirt on. But Flannel came after me. But if we're seeing linear growth, and even if the linear growth isn't necessarily in the standings, if the linear growth is the young guys coming up, getting that experience, because you know what? In 2 years, we may be ready to compete for a Stanley Cup. There is a possibility that our goalies are ready. There's a possibility we still have Tarasenko at a good chunk of the end of his prime. We will possibly re-sign Kane if he still has the usage that we can run his tires off until he retires. We could make a splash signing in free agency because we will have the cap space. Like, this just isn't the year to go for it. We don't have our infrastructure ready to go for it yet. We are so close, and everyone, like, this isn't like the Tigers that are pieces away, that don't have the pieces in the farm system. We have the pieces in the farm system. They're waiting to get their shot, but they're going to need that learning curve in the regular season to become the NHL stars that they are supposed to be.
And I think a lot of people, I'm going to remind people again, a lot of people better be very careful, because it isn't just the Red Wings that are doing it this way. The Habs are going to be very dangerous very soon. You're going to see the Sabres be very dangerous. And yes, I'm saying the Sabres. That's almost like saying, look out for the Miami Hurricanes. Yes, the Sabres have a heck of a lot of talent. Ottawa still has some. So it's going to be really fun to see how this plays out. But Neil, to your point, the whole you've got to make the playoff routine, why? Why?
I don't know.
Why do I have to make the playoff? Help me understand why I have to make the playoff. Is there one human being out there, one, including Flannel? And I'll ask this to Flannel if I see Flannel. Flannel, here's my question to you. Are the Red Wings in shouting distance of going and winning a Stanley Cup? Anybody in their right mind knows the answer to that is no. So what am I missing? Well, it'd be nice to make the playoffs. For what? What? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to diminish the playoffs. But why? What I want to see is the young guys that we've heard so much about step in and start to mature in front of our very eyes. The names that we're all going to be talking about, much like we talked about that incredible core back in Steve Yzerman's day, you know a little bit about one of them, some guy named McCarty. You know what? These at one point in time were all like these names we've heard the last few years, and they've become household names because they brought them up, they gave them time, they took their lumps, they had miserable losses. Need I remind you, the loss to the San Jose Sharks, the loss to Borishevsky in 93, even the final in 95. Guess what? They stayed the course, and they ended up winning multiple Stanley Cup champions with that core.
And how you ruin the core is by going and trying to go and sign guys like Stamkos too early.
Household names like Randy Wise, right, Power Neck?
Oh, yeah, Randy Wise. Make sure that you...
Not those other guys.
Those other guys. At the Celebrity Golf Tour, Randy Wise. Make sure that you stop on by. We were there earlier this year at Oakland Hills. Great tournament, great golf course. Make the wise decision and play with Randy Wise today. We'll be right back.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League. That's right, they offer youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, East Point. All the coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. There's cheer teams available as well. Equipment, meals, and transportation provided, all for a chance to play for a championship team or a championship game at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports. Well, Sean, we did it. Landed the plane.
Dude.
That is it.
That flew. That flew. I hope the next 30 days until college football week 0 fly as quickly as that 2
Sean, we
hours
worked
did.
too hard to get to summer. Don't be wishing it away, man.
Cider mills, putting on that little coat, watching a useless West Virginia game at noon. Come on. I need all of it. All of it.
I'm with you on the useless West Virginia game. It's always fun, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you
Pleasure.
stopping in.
Thanks for chiming in with us, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. For Sean Belizean, for KG, for Jesus the Intern, for Spencer Raxter, for PowerNeck, I'm Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.